Okay. So we're going to read you guys the consensual slavery contract. Now, I rented a room from a guy on Craigslist. And that should tell you everything you need to know right there. To preface this a little bit, I guess, I moved in, and I found out that by me living there got him out of this contract temporarily. I moved out when I found out that he wanted to be back into this contract. So, to willingly want to be in this is the craziest thing I've ever fucking heard. Here you go.
Consensual slavery contract. This contract is provided as a secure and binding agreement which defines in specific terms the relationship and interaction between individuals the legalese term the slaves and the masters. Both terms are intended to be independent of sex. This agreement is legal and binding. This agreement must be entered voluntarily.
In short, he owns every aspect of your life.
But cannot be broken except under the conditions stated herein, after which certain precautions shall be taken to protect those involved. If, when those who do not know of or appreciate this lifestyle visit the dwelling, this contract shall be suspended.
That was me.
All right. 1:00. Slave's role. 1.1. The slaves agree to submit completely to the masters in all ways. The slave willfully and knowingly give up their rights as either male or female. You are just the receptacle.
An empty rape vessel, if you will.
The slaves understand they are no longer considered male or female or human with any human qualities and or rights remaining while serving their masters. There are no boundaries of place, time, or situation in which the slave may willfully refuse to obey the directive of the master without risking punishment, except in situations where the slave's veto, see section 1.4, applies.
So at this point, right, any rational person's already out.
Yeah, I checked that at the fucking beginning.
Unbelievable.
Oh, the individuals involved understand that the slave wants to be controlled in all ways and willfully enters this contract. I might have some questions about all ways. 1.2. The slaves agree that once entered into the slavery contract, their body belongs to the masters to be used as seen fit within the guidelines defined herein. Permanent inking, tattooing, and piercing will be agreed by all parties involved. 1.3. The slave agrees to please the masters to the best of their ability, in that they now exist solely for the pleasure of said masters. Slave agrees to obey orders given by the master at any time, place. Assless, crotchless rags are only to be worn behind closed doors. Full-time chastity. Ankle cuffs, chains behind closed doors at all times. Waist cuffs at all times must be worn. Neck chain at all times must be worn, and side cuffs must be worn. A slave is to carry wrist-locking cuffs and gag on his person, just in case we're there for your lunch break. Slave will be used as a urinal by signatories, except for the first two, after a normal sleep period. Gotta be well rested before we shit on you.
So at this point, you're like, this is absolute horrific, right? And it can't get any worse, right? Possibly. Couldn't get worse. This fucking thing is 8 pages long. We're on page 1.
Wait, just you wait. Slave is not permitted furniture at any time except his desk chair for work purposes only. Gotta get that accounting taken care of. Slave will be referred to only a name given by signatory. Slave will be given a minimum of 8 lashes and 8 paddles daily. More disciplined lashes and paddles can be added by signatories at their discretion. Lashes and paddles will never exceed 12 of each in any single session, without a 20-minute rest interval if the slave has earned extra discipline. Slave is not permitted privacy even while showering. The bathroom door is to stay open.
So I work 12-hour shifts, and even I get 15-minute breaks. You know what I mean? Like, they're not lashing me 12 fucking times. Jesus God.
Just you get a minimum of 8 just for being there. 1.4 slave's veto. Like this means anything. The slave, where appropriate, holds veto power over any command given by the master, at which time the slave may rightfully refuse to obey the command. The power may only be invoked under the following circumstances or where agreed by each master and slave. So, like, you may want to veto, but you might not get it.
Your veto can be vetoed.
Where said command conflicts with any existing laws and may lead to fines, arrest, or prosecution of the slave. Fuck the masters. Where said command may cause extreme damage to the slave's life, such as losing their job. Like, hey, what's wrong with Kevin today? Just another blown out pelvis. Causing family stress, etc. Wait, how does his family's gonna know about this? Where said command may cause psychological trauma to the slave.
Just reading this causes
such
psychological
as a rape
trauma.
scene for a slave that has been raped in the past. It's like,
wait. Such as a rape scene for a slave that has been raped in the past.
That's a touchy subject. Like, excuse me, I've been raped in the past. That's what this basically is.
It is a consensual rape contract.
Of the soul. Like,
Alright, here, I got you. Alright, section 2, master's role. The master accepts the responsibility of the slave's body to do with as seen fit under the provisions determined in this contract. The master agrees to care for the slave, to arrange for the safety and well-being of the slave. Up to this point, doesn't seem like he cares.
Not likely.
As long as the master owns the slave, the master also accepts the commitment to treat the slave properly, to train the slave, punish the slave, and use the slave as they see fit. Slave may not refuse punishment up to and including passing out from pain inflicted during discipline. So, I mean, I guess you can't really veto if you're passed out, but you're not allowed to veto because on the grounds of pain, you know? Do you think he counts the lashes? Like, it's 13, 20 minutes, please. Oh, God damn.
Yeah, because it already says that, like, you know, time or place no longer exists. 20 minutes is when we say 20 minutes.
Master understands that the slaves are not kept fully nude at all times and have the right to wear torn rags behind closed doors.
Oh, Hagar the Terrible over here. Fucking terrible.
Master agrees the slave has rights to control with a single hand the speed which an object might be inserted into the rectum of a slave. One hand. You get one hand.
Too fast with the fire hydrant. Too fast.
Oh, man. The slave may not refuse this punishment. However, the slave can control the speed. Slave accepts a beat down by signatories and cannot bring legal ruin against them.
At this point, the speed control is a blessing from God himself.
Oh, good God. Would you like to do punishment?
Yes, I would. 3.0. Punishment. 3.1. Highlighted in red. The slave, and all caps. The slave agrees to any punishment the master decides to inflict or have inflicted by a proxy. I'm swamped at work. I can't make it today. Don't worry. Terry's going to take over.
Oh, God.
Whether earned or not. Limits in this
Whether earned or not. Oh, God.
So you earn a break from me. Only to have old Johnny Horsecock come by today. Limits in this contract are spelled out and include only the following limitations imposed. None of the following are allowed on the slave, and any and all forms of punishment, humiliation are permissible. No scat, no breath control, no sensory deprivation. Thank you for not shitting on me. Thank you.
But you will be used as a urinal.
No asses up for the slave. Slave permitted a hand to control any object being inserted into the rectum. Like any object.
Oh, man.
Slave cannot refuse objects. Like, oh, fire extinguisher today, traffic cone tomorrow. But can control the insertion speed. No permanent body modifications unless agreed by the slave, i.e. a tattoo, might be agreed upon by each party. No animals for any type of sexual or punishment purpose.
We're not cruel to animals over here.
Peter's ruthless. No underage shall at any time be involved. No women for sexual or punishment purposes. Oh, great. Fantastic. No nude or performance time for others at home. Slave agrees to assless, ragged, torn shorts even during punishment at all times. How was dinner over there? No group sexual encounters as defined as 3 or more. No broken bones / teeth. No public exhibition, even in lifestyle resorts / camps.
Oh, because they do exist, for sure. I've heard all about them after living here for just a few short weeks. Not exactly the retreat I would do.
You're out with the sled dogs. No blood willfully drawn may happen during whipping, pelting / flogging. Nothing said about accidentally.
When you're signing a contract that has the words flogging in it, wow.
Or any object inserted into the rectum. Like, but don't worry, you got the speed, bro. No raunch, which includes anything causing illness, vomiting.
What do they consider raunch? You know?
We'll be like, dude, when you're elbow deep in my rectum, like, I might not be able to hold down the buffet. Sorry. No burning, including on nails, any part of body, and no tobacco products burning, including the use of lighters / matches for punishment. No intentional scarring in all caps. Emotional is fucking already done. No drastic loss of circulation. No causing internal bleeding. Wait, I have questions now. No intentional loss of consciousness. Like, hey, we're sorry, buddy. Come on. Thank God you came too.
Back at it.
Here we go. No withholding of any necessary materials such as food, water, or sunlight for extended periods of time. Extended.
Yeah. Oh, man. Okay. All caps in red. Yeah, I can only imagine what's in this paragraph.
That's just unintentional blood.
And just so you're aware that every time it says the word slave, it's pluralized in parentheses because this guy owns multiple slaves. I believe 20 some. So,
Yeah, harem, if you will.
Yeah. The stable. Slave understands that whipping, flogging, and other types of punishments will at times be severe and cause bleeding. So remember that paragraph where we're not going to intentionally cause bleeding? Yeah, we're going to cause bleeding.
There's some wiggle room there.
As such, this is a consequence of the punishment and is not considered purposefully drawing blood.
Sorry we hit you with that knife, bro.
Hey, man. Can't do the time, don't get cry.
Oh, sweat.
Me too. Slave understands face slapping will be severe if required during punishment. It is further understood that weights suspended from the penis testicle area are permitted, provided it's suspended from the base of each of the penis testicles.
Hey, no problem.
Whoa. That's not the base.
Yeah.
Oh my good God.
They do that in some tribes. Hey, fuck it.
Section 4. Permanent bodily harm.
Yes, I can't wait. Where do I sign?
Since the body of the slave belongs to the master, it is the master's responsibility to protect the body from permanent bodily harm. So far, seems like he's doing a pretty good job.
I think you might be lying.
Should the slave ever come to permanent bodily harm during the course of punishment or in any other slavery-related activity? Slavery-related activity.
Kickball today. It's not as pleasant as it sounds, bro.
Whether by intention or accidental, it will be grounds for immediate termination of this contract. So there's a way out. Permanent disfigurement.
Bro. Oh man, we're sorry. We're sorry if we completely permanently broke you. So we don't want you no more.
It gets better. Should the slave so desire, if you want out, permanent bodily harm shall be determined as death. Glad we cleared that up.
Oh, I just have to die to be free, okay?
Any damage that involves the loss of mobility or function, including broken bones, scars, burns, loss of hair, piercing of the flesh.
Wait, my hair?
What? What are you doing to these people? I don't want to know. I don't want to know. Piercing of the flesh, which leaves a permanent hole, unless consensual by all parties. Any disease that could result in any of the above results, including sexually transmitted diseases. We're going to be safe about this. Oh, good God. Section 6. What happened to
Severe
section
rectal bleeding, but no syphilis.
We removed section 5 for some reason. God only knows what was in that. Had to be removed. Section 6. Secrecy. Oh, good God. All physical evidence of slavery will be kept in secrecy except where each master and slave agrees. So they felt it was okay to tell me about this. In an attempt to get him back into this contract while I lived there. Which,
have to punch the bag and go ahead.
Which was told to me many times. Hey, if you just want to beat up on him, go ahead and beat up on him. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not really into that, but thanks.
The hamburger helper's cold.
Just take your day out on the faggot. Oh, and please call him the faggot. Any violation of this clause shall be cause to terminate this contract. So if your master outs you as a slave, man, what are you really gonna fucking do about it at this point? I think that's the least of your problems.
Right? God forbid Deborah from accounting finds out.
Oh man. Should the injured party wish it.
There's that blown out pelvis again.
It is acknowledged in advance that friends not familiar with this lifestyle. Who the fuck is? Who is the fuck?
What friend do you have at this point?
Any and said visit. Once the visiting party departs the premises, the contract immediately resumes, without question. I better not have to tell you again to put on those goddamn rags and ankle cuffs. Oh, good God. Here you go, Wood. Section 7.
Private rules of conduct. The slave agrees to be in rags, except where allowed by the master to wear briefs or clothing when in private.
This makes Walmart make so much more sense at 3 in the morning.
At any domicile agreed upon by the master. The slave further agrees to always wear ankle chains and neck and waist chains and wrist chains when at home in private, whether the master be present or not. At all times in caps.
Yeah, so someone drops in on him to make sure that this stuff is going on. Like, at any given time, you get a knock on the door, like, you would panic if,
Where
like...
the fuck are your shackles?
There, you know. Oh, shit. 1 minute!
I'm
Oh,
sorry.
God.
They began to eat into my skin. Like,
Oh,
except bed for sleep.
Oh, he's allowed to bed?
You're allowed to sleep. This command can be revised. So, hey, guess what?
Oh, man. Every time I think this guy gets a break.
Shackle Slumber Saturdays, here we come.
Every time I think he gets a break, the next sentence is, unless I say differently.
When commanded by the master or a proxy, so like, Harry just really stopped by and be like, wait, Shackle, I'm today's proxy.
Get out of bed, faggot.
The slave will wear only, at most, when agreed by the master, ragged torn shirt when at home,
At
and
most.
no other clothing.
At most.
This dude's like an NPC in a dungeon in Skyrim now, at all times.
But master, the heat's out. I don't care.
Let them balls hang. This command can be revised by a master. The slave shall put on. Wait. What a word to get. The slave shall put on tit clamps at the top of each hour for 15 minutes when at home. You gotta build that nipple sensitivity, man.
Oh, man. That's a cliffhanger for the page turner.
Oh, I can't wait to turn the page, master. I'm getting lightheaded. For 15 minutes at home during active, not resting, sleeping. Thank God. I don't have to wake up every hour for the old tick clamps.
Let me guess, it can be revised anytime.
This command can be revised by a master.
No.
The slave is not permitted to use of furniture except for a desk, chair, when working for career purposes, only at the desk.
And between the hours of 9 and 5, this command can be...
This specifically includes eating. It's like I've always wanted...
Eat on the floor, faggot. Oh, God.
I've always wanted to explore Japanese culture, just, without the tick clamps. The slave is to eat any and all meals while on the floor in italics, highlighted, and exclamation. Surfing the internet does not constitute career purposes. No memes for you, bro.
Oh, God.
The slave agrees to chastity when ordered by the master for however long it shall be at determination of the master. The slave shall not use any given name except as approved by the master. So when you're fucking phoning it in from your only desk to get the accounting done, it's like, we should hit Kevin up and say, excuse me, I'm now to be known as the faggot.
Oh, he was definitely known as the faggot.
We're not trying to be on PC. That's just how he got to roll, man.
We have to be true to the material here.
The slave agreed to keep chains, cuffs, and any other metals clean and dry. Just picture him whistling, polishing his fucking cuffs.
Hey, you never know when a proxy is going to show up and inspect us and flog the shit out of me.
I'm laughing enough to whistle to try and do it. The slave agrees to abide by these rules at all times in private. The slave agrees to rules not herein specified as determined by the master. It's just like,
yeah, we're going to make some new shit up.
Yeah, whether you know it or not, you better be okay with it. The slave shall accept punishment as ordered by the master or his proxy. The slave agrees to no privacy, even using the washroom for any reason. These can be amended on by the master. It's like, hey, can I close the door while I wash the blood out of my ass? Please?
No, that's part of
no,
it for me.
I need to see this. Highlighted in pink. Oh, new colors. The slave does not control the speed of master's penis in his rectum, but may control, as slated above, the speed of any other object.
We can't emphasize this enough.
Into
You
his
get
rectum.
speed control of everything but dick.
But God forbid you try and slow me down when I'm close. Excuse me. You're leaving scorch marks. What's that smell? Just burning, that's all.
Oh my God.
Slave will not contact via email one signatory without copying others. Help! CC!
Send out.
Get here before the master.
Yeah, the faggot's bitching again. Send another proxy.
Oh man, someone's gonna have to cut her off on the way. Just run her off the road. 7.1 Public Rules of Conduct. The slave will conduct himself at all times in such a manner as to not call attention to master slave. Specifications will be altered as the event allows permit.
That's our job. We'll call attention to master and slave.
I really want to go on this roller coaster, but I can't sit down.
Do you mind if I cuff myself to the shoulder harness?
The contract may not be altered except when the master and slaves agree. 9. Termination of contract. If the
You gotta die.
If your punishment
I
for
already know, you gotta die.
if your punishment for just being is this severe, what's this gonna be? Oh my God. The contract may be terminated at any time by the master, but never by the slave, except under conditions explained herein.
If you die.
Ten.
Here, I'll take a shift here.
Oh, wait. Hold on. 10. All rights and privileges not otherwise noted in this contract belong to the master, and he may exercise them as he chooses. Sale of this contract, as determined by the master, shall be allowed without notification to the slave. Oh, man. 11.0. I have read and fully understand this contract in its entirety.
No, I have not. No, I have not.
That I will be commanded, trained, and punished as a slave, and I promise to be true and to fulfill the pleasures and desires of my master to the best of my ability. Underline, bold, italic. I
the best of your
understand.
abilities at this point is just being, like I said, you're a rape receptacle.
I am but for an empty vessel on a sea of pain. Day 973. Captain's log. Morale is probably in my lower intestine. I understand that I am no longer considered male, female, or human. Hey, at least they're with the fucking social climate.
Animals have more rights in this contract. Like, you're not gonna have to worry about having
No
a
one
dead
keeps
cat.
a leash on the dog when it comes inside. You know? Under
Oh,
the
God.
terms of this contract, I'm no longer male, female, or human. I understand that I give up even my most basic of human qualities and rights to my master. I understand I cannot withdraw from this contract as stated in this contract. That termination clause above, just kidding. I waive my rights to bring any legal action against my master who have signed this contract below. I understand that I am not permitted the use of I, me, mine. And there goes my fucking favorite Beatles song too.
Can you imagine, like, trying to get out of this and this just being read in open court? Like, well, he signed it. You know what I mean? Well, let's go over the contract.
Be like, I must use this slave in its stead. Excuse me, DJ, can I hear This Slave by the Beatles? What? I can't say. In its stead, or whatever name the master determined to use on this willful slave. Slave signature date, slave printed name. Fucking sweet! Where do I sign?
Oh, good God.
I don't even remember my name at this point.
So, yeah, so...
Hold on, you missed a whole clause back there.
Yeah, so Section 13. I missed the whole
Yeah,
part where.
yeah, after the signature.
Oh, good God. Section 12. I have read and fully understand this contract in its entirety. I agree to accept this/these slave as my property. Oh, so this is for the master. And to care for it to the best of my ability. I shall provide for their security, well-being, and command them, train them, use them, and punish them as a slave. Well, thank God for that.
Your Honor.
I'll do my part. When you do yours, sign here, please. Then the master signs, prints, and dates. Section 13. Amendments may be included by hand below. So basically, he can just slap a post-it onto this, and that's part of the contract.
While you were reading this, I came up with so many ideas.
An amendment is permissible where initialed and signed by each master and the slave. Further amendments are handwritten, continue on page 7, as needed, each to be initialed by slave and master. So there you have it, your consensual slavery contract. Unfucking believable. Now, this guy
I forgot what words mean.
this guy has lived like this for over 20 years. And, man, I thought my life was hard.
You kind of need to say, like, what happened. Like, you know, everything was going smooth. And then just one day, you know, I got in some shit. And this dude's like, hey, I'll get you out of some shit. Okay, excellent. Gets me out of some shit. Now it's, but I got you into some way new shit, bro.
Yeah, I'm not gonna air him out like that. But,
No.
This was signed over a $7 or $8 million debt. Yeah. I don't care. How you could live like this for 25 years and not just fucking kill yourself?
Well, there's probably something in there about that.
Yeah, we're missing page 8, so God only
knows what those intended for.
Yeah, we don't know. So there you have it. Consensual slavery at its finest.